I'm Sammy Solina. Welcome to Story Behind the Story, where we take a look at a tape from the archives and talk to the KARE 11 journalist who originally brought that story to air. This week, we talked to Ron Stover, longtime photojournalist, who highlighted a sport that was underground at the time. And just to warn you, this story may hurt to watch.
And 31.
We need a win here.
Saturday afternoons at the Knights of Columbus Hall in Bloomington.
Bingo.
And there it goes.
The competition
No pressure.
is fierce,
No good.
High 20.
but it's nothing compared to what'll take place here just a few hours from now.
Bingo!
About 20 miles from the KC Hall, Ultimate Fighter Sean Sherk is in training for a big match.
A lot of things that I hear is that it's human cockfighting.
Banned in several states, Ultimate Fighting is a form of mixed martial arts combining kickboxing and wrestling.
My first fight was June of 1999, and currently my record is 16-0. I'm fighting probably every month now, sometimes twice a month.
The nice little cut near Sean's right eye came courtesy of a sparring partner.
I caught a knee in the eye, shooting in on somebody, and he was coming in with a front kick, caught me with his knee, ended up with 16 stitches.
Advocates of Ultimate Fighting consider it an art form, a graceful battle between highly skilled athletes. And because most matches end when one fighter submits to the other, they say broken bones are minimized.
There isn't very many injuries. I mean, I think they say, 85% of fights end with submission. So, I mean, there's actually more injuries in something like, say, boxing.
Just a couple of hours after the bingo set goes home, another crowd begins to arrive at the KC Hall.
Well, this crowd's a little bit more excitable than the bingo crowd.
Hi, general admission?
Yeah.
Here we go, get your red hot Sean Sherk shirt.
All right, let's go over the rules real quick.
Downstairs, meanwhile,
the
the fight
amateurs.
promoters conduct a rules meeting.
Punch, kick, knee and elbow, all legal.
It's not as brutal as people think.
The rules for amateur fighters
There's no elbows on the ground, there's no kicking on the ground.
are more restrictive than the rules for pro fighters.
If this guy goes down to one knee and he's hurt, you can knee him, okay? You can punch him, but you can't bring the elbow down on his head.
We take the proper precautions.
The Minnesota Medical Association
71.5, good job.
isn't quite so sure.
We're opposed to any kind of behavior in which the intent of that behavior is to inflict harm on another person.
Dr. David McCullum wants Ultimate Fighting banned in Minnesota.
And this is another venue for us to desensitize us to violence and create heroes out of violent people.
Will there be a doctor ringside tonight?
We have EMTs here tonight.
You have EMTs here
Yeah,
tonight?
and we do have doctors in the crowd that come as fans that volunteer their time and their assistance if we need it. So they're here, but they're on a social occasion.
Are you ready to have a good time, ladies and gentlemen?
700 fans of all ages and backgrounds paid about $30 apiece to attend. The first bout features Jake Heisinger of Blaine against Tavares Hunter of Milwaukee.
Go!
The entire fight will last less than a minute. It ends after Hunter gets Heisinger in a chokehold with his legs. Fight number 2 pits Jeff Kislowski of Winnipeg, Manitoba against 19-year-old Sam Morgan from Minneapolis. Both fighters are amateurs. They throw relatively few punches, and kicks are rare.
Kick him, Sam!
Most of the match, the two fighters lock each other in a twisted pretzel of arms and legs.
Take his wrist, Sammy!
But suddenly, right before the end of the first round, there's chaos in the ring. Sammy Morgan is hysterical. The promoter calls for an ambulance. Jeff Kislowski's ankle is broken, and there is no doctor at ringside.
He's okay, Sam. He's not hurt. I heard it pop. He's okay, Sammy. Sammy, he's okay. And it's a snap. Hey, listen to me. He is a fighter, too. I know you feel bad for him, Sammy, but he's a fighter, too.
About 5 minutes later, paramedics arrive, while in makeshift locker rooms, other fighters await their turn.
Lord, we pray for the safety of the fighters. Pray for strength.
Give it up! Once again, Jeff Kislowski.
The remainder of the evening features a mix of amateur and professional fights.
Crawl up the back, that's it!
Highlighted by several knees to the gut, a couple of knees to the head, hundreds of punches,
Work the ribs. There you go.
and a few wild takedowns.
In case you're wondering who regulates Ultimate Fighting in Minnesota, the answer is absolutely no one. And until we brought it to their attention, the State Boxing Commission had no idea that fights like this were taking place in Minnesota.
There's no way, if there's no regulation, that you can control anybody from getting hurt.
They can bang each other, hit each other, kick each other, bang their heads. I don't know, if that's a sport, maybe I'm out of the wrong generation.
Near the end of the night, fight fans get exactly what they came for.
Currently 16-0.
Superstar Sean Shirk versus little-known Jason Purcell. It's a colossal mismatch, and the promoters know it. 3 seconds after the fight begins, Jason is on his back. 40 seconds later, Purcell can no longer defend himself, and the main event is over.
It's over!
The challenger's nose is broken. The champ barely broke a sweat.
Did you have a good time?
Just another Saturday night at the Knights of Columbus Hall in Bloomington.
Business as usual.
It ain't bingo,
It's been a long night.
but the competition sure is fierce. Mark Daly, KARE 11 News.
Okay, first of all, watching that package hurt.
No.
My shins hurt. I touched my nose to make sure it was okay. Because, wow, those men, they went through a lot of pain.
They go at
that
it.
night.
They go at it. When we shot that story, I was kind of doing that as a sport. So I knew some of the guys that were involved, and that's how I kind of got into it. But at that point in time,
Wait, were you Ultimate Fighting at that?
I was doing Muay Thai kickboxing,
Oh, okay.
which is the part of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
MMA, mixed martial arts, is primarily Muay Thai kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wrestling.
And then this is Ultimate Fighting.
And that
which
was
is-
combined as Ultimate Fighting.
That's
yes.
okay.
And that's what it was called back in those days, was Ultimate Fighting. That's before MMA came out, mixed martial arts, the UFC. This is way before that.
Before regulations, for
Yeah.
the most part, at least in this instance. of the
Right,
story.
and but it was, back then it was such an anomaly of a sport that it wasn't regulated by the Boxing Commission. They didn't have any say over it. It was done in a ring. It wasn't a cage now like it is now with the octagon. And these guys were all just beginning this whole transition to this new sport. And so they were having this fight at the Knights of Columbus down in Bloomington. And so we went in, we set up lights, and were able to get in to shoot this thing. But it was just a free-for-all, and it was all shot in one day. I was excited to see what was going to happen. I mean, that was kind of the point of shooting the bingo, was to show the contrast of what happened in this place.
And 31.
And so, you know, we shot the senior citizens playing bingo, and then they set up the ring, had the fighters come in, but it was truly a free-for-all. I mean, I had set up a platform on one side where I could get up on a platform to shoot over the ring, and then I was down around the sides, and I probably was sweating more than the fighters were, because I was all over the place trying to get shots of people reacting through the fights, shots of the fighters themselves. The guy that we were focusing this on, his name was Sean Shirk. And he went on to become the welterweight champion of the world for UFC. And when it became a big, fully televised, legitimate sport, he was in it big time. And Greg Nelson, his coach, who's in the story as well, has gone on to train 4 world champions, including Brock Lesnar, who a lot of people know of because of his wrestling in both the U of M and in professional wrestling. So it was fun. It was just a crazy night that just went so fast. And then when we got back, we got to put it together, and the whole idea was just lots of action, reaction, guys flying all over the place. And we had a lot of drama where one of the guys' leg was broken. One of the big questions we had, you guys have medical attention here? Well, he didn't.
They had some volunteer doctors that were
not really. So back in those days, I mean, it was known as Ultimate Fighting because it was punching and kicking and wrestling, and that evolved into now as the WWE, which is this huge multi-billion-dollar business and worldwide.
What was the aftermath of that story?
The story ended up being that the Knights of Columbus thought this was outrageous. Why was this happening at the Knights of Columbus? And they banned any more Ultimate Fighting at their Knights of Columbus lodge. And so that was the first and last, at least as far as we know, it ever happened there.
Wow. I mean, so that was like the beginnings of this massive sport
Right.
now, and now there's way more regulations.
Yeah.
It is safer to do, but as you pointed out, I mean, there were opportunities where they could kick someone when they're down, pretty much.
Well,
circumstances.
I mean, you don't actually do that, but yeah, no, but it's very intense. It's very, very hard hitting, pounding, but it's also very controlled. Unlike boxing, where they can just beat each other silly, this can get stopped very quickly if somebody's in trouble. But I think it was at a point, though, in that day and age where it was considered to be kind of outrageous. It's like, this is not a real sport. This shouldn't be a real sport. And it turned out to be one of the most popular sports in the country. We were thrilled to show it. The guys that were in the competition, they were thrilled that we showed it. They were not at all taken aback by the fact that the Knights of Columbus had this reaction to it. And I totally believe that had we not shown the story, the Knights of Columbus would have probably never have done anything differently. They would have just, they would have probably had another one because it was a big turnout. But I think there was enough disturbance about our story that they went, maybe we won't do this one again. I would never have heard about it had I not been doing it myself. And a lot of times as a reporter or as a photographer, you sometimes reach into your own world to find stories because it's something that you're involved in and you know who they are. So I was able to know about this event only because I was a member of that particular club that Sean was in and Greg was in. Greg was my coach at the time. And the sport was very young, like I said, so was I. That gave us the inroad.
Kick him, Sam!
To be able to set it up and have the trust of these guys that we were not going to do some kind of a hack job on them about the sport, that they trusted us enough to let us come on the inside and let us see what it's really like.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes the people that we talk to or realize that this is, a story in the first place, neighbors come up to us, friends come up to us.
It's been a long night.
And let us know what's going on in the community.
Right.
Because we're part of the community, and that's
Right.
how we get our stories.
Yep.